Alright, what's up guys? Alright, so today we're gonna do a short flight from Sierra Bravo. Hold up, let me get inside the plane. From Sierra Bravo Charlie Tango, Curitiba, Brazil, all the way out to Sierra Golf Alpha Sierra, Asunción, Paraguay. Now, I thought it would be appropriate to use this library over here, right? Considering our destination is Paraguay. Alright, so let's jump in. Disclaimer, I'm not a CRJ pilot, so if I make a few mistakes, you'll understand. Alright, so we're in the cold and dark position right now, so I guess the appropriate thing to do right now would be a safety check flow, even though it's very dark in here. So first off, we would have to check our nose wheel steering switch. Gotta make sure it's off. I know for a fact that it's off. But that would be right over here. Then we gotta check our hydraulic pumps. They're all off. Our landing gear lever is down. Our flight spoiler is full forward. Oh, never mind, it's not full forward. Now it is. Now our flap lever is gonna be up or 0 degrees. So your radar is off. We don't want to fry anyone when we turn this thing on. Parking brake is set. Our ADG manual release is flush and flat. Our emergency flap lever is in the up position. Alright, so I think that concludes our safety check flow, and we could go ahead and turn on our battery master switch on. Alright, there we go. Now, we just got to turn on the APU, but first of all, we're gonna check our batteries. So we go over to electric, and there we go. We have 26 volts and 27. So we should have at least 22 volts for our APU start. Or we could do it using external power, but we're gonna do it with the APU. Alright, so now we're gonna turn it on. Go to stat. Go to APU power fuel. Pretty dark in here, but we're gonna turn the lights on in a bit. There we go. We should get APU invite. APU SOV open. Alright, we could just give it start. Where is it? Here it is. There we go. Now we're just gonna monitor. We're gonna check our RPM is spinning up, and once it gets to 100% the APU gen, it should turn off. They're already in auto, so alright, there we go. Now we can turn on our IRS to nav, and we're gonna wait for it to line up. There we go, we're all set. Gotta turn on. We gotta turn on these lights over here, but I can't see jack squats. There we go, lighting. There we go, flood integrated. originating check. We're going to start at our overhead panel. This is right over here. And, you know, to simplify, all lights should be dark and guarded. Alright, so let's check that our APU gens are all set to auto. It's all good. The fire detection fire expander, we should have done that before firing up the APU, but we'll leave that for our next flight. Dark and guard external lights. We can turn our nav lights on, turn off our logo lights on. That's good. It's good, it's good, it's good. Hydraulics turn 3A on for now. We're going to do a quick hydraulic test. Alright, never mind. Okay, so let's go over to hydraulics. We're going to turn, let's see, 1, 3B, and 2 on, and we should get around 3000 psi. It's in green. We're okay. Now we're going to check our 3A. Off, off. We're going to turn 3A on. Okay, that switch is not working. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we've got pressure dropping. 3A is in green. Now we're good. Alright. Cabin press, air conditioning, we're going to turn our packs on, recirculating fan on. Aft cargo, we could just turn it on as well. Anti-ice, windshield low and low. ELT armed. Packs oxygen, dark and guarded. No smoking. Passenger seatbelt signs on. Emergency lights armed. Alright. Alright, so now we could do our stall test. Alright, so now we should see our cursor. Alright. Stall, we're just gonna go ahead and press it. As you can see, it's working. Clocks are set. Do a quick CVR test. Press it for about 5 seconds. It should turn green. Alright, nice. Standby instrument check. Cage it. Now, oxygen pressure, let's take a look at. Let's see if it's okay. Stat should be at 1850 psi. We're good. Anti-skid test. Real quick. Alright. Is it good? lower pedestal. Alright. Now we're going to verify that our pitch disconnect and roll disconnect are stowed, which they are. Spoilers and ground lift should be set to auto. Thrust reversers are in the off right now. Thrust idle, flaps 0. Let's just put in our ground or clearance. It's 1219er. Alright, and we'll just leave it at that for the time being. Now what I usually like to do is
Azul 2771. Taxi to your assigned gate via Bravo Alpha.
Okay, via Bravo Alpha. That's not for me.
Via Bravo and Alpha, thank you. Curitiba approach, Phoenix 1156 with you.
Alright, so what I usually like to do is
Phoenix 1156.
like to see
Aero
if
Phoenix 1156. Contact Curitiba control on 119.7.
Curitiba control 119.7 for Phoenix 1156.
Alright, so we have the VOR for our nav, and now for the ILS, we gotta put 109.
To Sierra Bravo, Romeo, Juliet, flight level
1093. There you go. Alright, so I am a little sick, that's why my voice is a little rusty.
Curitiba ground 103293, ready to taxi.
Alright, we're good. Should be all in norm.
Pushback and engine start approved.
2 stab trim, Mach trim. Right.
Curitiba ground 3293, ready to taxi.
We did a quick
Taxi to runway
aileron and rudder trim
3293.
to make sure that's working. Okay.
Sam 9000, request pushback and start.
Sam 9000, pushback and start approved. Face north.
Parking brake released.
Yeah, it's rudder.
Down to flight deck. Cleared for engine starting sequence.
Now we're gonna. Now this is the hard part, to getting it centered. Okay, there we go. Alright. Oh, I'm back to white. Oh, the other way. There we go. Alright, nope. See, this is why I usually skip this part. And for aileron, you get the point. It'll be the same procedure. Alright, next our yaw damper. Let's see. These are all in norm. Cargo, FireX should be guarded and deselected. Landing gear release is stowed. Alright. Perfect. So now we could start our FMS. Go to index. Nope. My bad. Post in a page. Next page. Grab our coordinates. Previous page. Paste it. Airport. Virgin Sierra. Bravo. Charlie Tango. Alright. Let's go to index page. IRS control, we're just gonna make sure that's enabled. VOR DME, make sure that these two are in yes. GNS control enabled and enabled. Alright, perfect.
In the 414 SB Curitiba ground, say again.
Requesting instruction to the gate.
Alright, so now we could start our flight plan for that.
On 118.15 when approaching the gate.
Got a flight plan. Origin Airport, Sierra Bravo, Charlie Tango, Sierra Golf, Alpha Sierra. Alright, flight number 8ZP800. Nice. Now, I'm going to take a quick look at my OFP, which I imported to Navigraph. I'm going to take a look at our route. Alright, departure arrival. Alright, so it looks like it's going to be runway 15, but we'll see. And we're going to use the EVMOOC 1 Charlie. MOOC 1 Charlie, where is it? It's over here. Departure. Alright, go and hit execute. Let's go back to our flight plan. Should be EVSoup. Direct to EVSoup. Alright, then do it via UZ 161 to Beaulieu. UL 301 to Devos. Alright, nice. Execute departure arrival. Alright, so I'm guessing runway 02 is going to be in use when we arrive, but I'm going to try to request the ILS. It's going to Devos, so do ILS Yankee via let's see what we have. Devos via Port. There we go. Alright, go to our flight plan. Discontinuity, we're good. Legs. There we go. Alright, so now we go to MFD menu. Gonna put our window on VNav and make sure that side is on L, or left, better yet said. Alright, next page. Range, altitude select. Now we could go to performance. Go to fuel management. And for this one, I usually like to just do it straight from the EFB. It's a lot easier. So I'm going to change this to 0 fuel weight. Going to take a look at my OFP, and our 0 fuel weight should be 27573. And our fuel for this flight is going to be, let's take a look, 4578, 578, enter, set payload and simulator. We're going to copy it to our FMS, and we'll initiate fuel from aircraft. Next page, next page. Performance mode, it's going to be in predicted. Back to perf menu, go to VNAV, target speed is going to be 290.74, that's okay. Now our cruise, we're going to change it, it's going to be dash 0.77, and for our descent we're going to do 0.77 slash 320. Alright, so our descent, our transition is going to be at 3,000 feet. It says flight level, whatever. Cruise altitude for today is going to be holy shit. I'm sorry. I see it, but I don't believe it. Could it be 40,000 feet? Are we gonna make it to 40,000 feet? Actually, no. 360. My bad. Alright. Go to flight level. Flight level 360. There we go. Flight level 080. Alright, whatever. Okay, so VNAV is set. Set speed. Flaps 8, dry. We're just gonna set it all instead of twisting all these knobs over here. Set all. Okay, good. It's all set. We've got our arrow pointing to the left. Good. That means our flight director is going to be pointed. It's going to be on our side. Alright, before we go, we're just going to make sure our heading bug is centered to our runway heading, which is going to be 150, I believe. And last but not least, set our cabin pressure. Normally it would be done at our departing airport elevation, but I'm gonna set it to our destination airport, which is gonna be, it's about 250, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Cabin press. What is it? 160, a little bit more. 20. 280. 200. Alright, we'll leave it at 280. Okay, so we're all set. Let's turn these off real quick, and I'm gonna get my clearance to Sierra Golf Alpha Sierra. Alright. Clearance delivery is going to be 119.3. Just click on that. Give them a quick call. Oh, and I like to be called the Arizona Pacific, so I'll be called the Arizona Pacific for this flight.
9000, request flight clearance to Porto Alegre.
1 second while I grab the paperwork.
Clearance, Caleb 1975, information Lima on board, request
So, there we go.
clearance, IFR clearance to Rio de Janeiro.
Almost forgot about the 80s. Alright, so we have Yankee.
You have information Yankee. Afonso, Pena Airport. Information Yankee.
Alright, 15 and 11.
0100 Zulu.
Clearance, good evening, Arizona Pacific 800. IFR to Sierra Golf Alpha Sierra with information Yankee.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
Okay, standing by, Arizona Pacific 800. I'm gonna turn my AC off because I'm freezing my balls off.
800. Information Yankee is current. Cleared to Asunción via the AVMU 1 Charlie departure. Then as filed. Departure runway 15. Initial climb to 6,000. Departure on 119.7 squawk 2632.
Clear to Congonhas Airport after departure, fly radar vectors to Eslot, then as 5, departure runway 11, initial climb 6,000 feet, departure on 119.7 and squawk 16.
Okay, copy, cleared to Asunción via EVMUL Charlie, runway 15, 6,000 feet, departure 119.7, squawk code 2632, Arizona Pacific 800.
Curitiba clearance, good night, Azul 2600. Request IFR clearance to Porto Iguaçu as filed.
Alright, squawk code.
Arizona Pacific 800. Read back correct. Ground is on 121.9er. Safe flight, sir.
121.9er, Arizona Pacific 800. Have a good night. Alright, so put our transponder real quick.
Arizona Pacific 800. Have a good evening.
Thank you, nice lady. Squawk code 2632. You can leave that in standby. Our TCAS, we could test our TCAS, but it doesn't work. Alright, let's give ground a call and let them know that we're ready for push and start. One decimal niner. Alright. Curitiba ground, Arizona Pacific 800. We're ready for push and start.
Arizona Pacific 800, Curitiba ground, push and start approved, face north.
Facing north, Arizona Pacific 800. Alright, so first things first, we gotta find out where north is.
Arizona Pacific 80, Roger, facing north.
Roger Dodger, facing north. That's gonna be to our right. Alright, so let's make sure. Oh, we are gonna demolish these guys. Is it me or is it a bit hazy? It is. Real time, live weather, we're good. Alright, ready for push and start. Let's get our pushback. Plan pushback. Facing north.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Standing by. Oh, get our chocks. So we should have 50 something passengers. Good thing is that it's nighttime, so they'll be sleeping most of the flight.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
Nice.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft. Standing by for pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Alright, parking brakes are released. And
Pushback.
we'll start
Start the
our
sequence.
engines. Alright,
Yeah, we'll
fuel
start in the
boost
sequence.
pumps. You on. The auto, auto, and start our right engine first. Now we're gonna monitor our N2. Once it gets to 20%, we could put some fuel in, and the starter will automatically disengage at around 55%. I believe it's 50. Alright, there we go, 20%. Fuel in. Oh my god, I forgot to turn on the beacon. Sorry guys. Well, surprisingly, no one's been sucked in to our engines yet, so we should be okay. Alright, there we go, 50%. Now it's going to stabilize around 60, I believe. Thank you. Parking brake sets.
Parking brakes set.
Alright, now we're going to start our left engine.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Okay, sir. Clear to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
See ya.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Alright. 20% fuel in. Alright, oil pressure is going up. Why? It says that flaps already set to 1. Why is that? Whatever. Right, so okay, so engines are on. We're going to turn our anti-ice probes on. We're going to set flaps to 8. Arm our nose wheel steering. And then we have to check our flight controls. Flight control synoptic page. Alright, let's do a test. Full deviation, left, right, spare rudders. And stabilizer, alright. Trim 7.2. Oh god. 7.2. Alright, perfect. Now I'm going to call ground and let them know that we're ready for taxi. Ground, Arizona Pacific 800, ready for taxi.
Arizona Pacific 800, taxi to runway 15 at your discretion.
Taxi to 15 at our discretion, Arizona Pacific 800. Alright. Taxi lights on, and nose, because I can't see jack. We're gonna taxi all the way to runway 15. Looks like we're gonna do a 180. Alright, so for this we're gonna go straight ahead and then we're gonna do a little short 180. Oh boy, we are going Mach 43 on this taxiway. So I'll just get out of their way, and I am... Is this even... This is not even our taxiway. Oh, would you look at that? We've got more clones over here. So I completely massacred 3 people. Oh wait, we got... There we go. That's our center line. You know, these lights are confusing, because I was looking for the lights, to be honest. I should have been looking for the center line and not the lights. So that right there was our very first pilot error. Alright, so we just dinged that light. We're gonna ding all of these lights. But who cares? The company's gonna pay for them. He did say taxi at our discretion, so oh god, what is that? That was an airplane. we just we just had a collision. We still haven't made it to our runway. Okay, so this is not it. This is not. Oh, I see it. We're supposed to go off to the right. Okay. Just pretend that never happened. We'll do a quick reset. Yeah, I should really have taxi diagram for this airport. It's always a good idea whenever you're in an airport you've never been to before. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna hold short. Runway 11. Can make sure nobody's on final. He did say taxi at our discretion, but I'm gonna give him a call and let him know that I am holding. I was cleared to runway 15 at my discretion, but you know what? Just in case. Ground Arizona Pacific 800, holding short of runway 11.
Arizona Pacific 800, contact tower on 118.15 for departure clearance.
Okay, Roger. I'm actually requesting clearance to cross runway 11 onto Charlie for runway 15. He did clear us before, but you know.
Arizona Pacific 800, cross runway 11 onto Charlie for runway 15 approved.
Cross runway 11 onto Charlie for runway 15, Arizona Pacific 800. There we go. Now we've got it. We've got permission. We've got clearance. That means that if anything happens, hey, look. It's all recorded. Alright, so now we're making our way to runway 15. We're gonna go on to runway 15. We're gonna do a quick 180. We're gonna line up. And he did say the frequency, which I don't remember, but it's over here. Where's tower? 11815. Alright. It's all clear, clear. Good.
Arizona Pacific 800, contact tower on 118.15. Take
118.15. Arizona Pacific 800. So long. So long, buddy. Alright, so we're gonna use all of our runway. Okay. Alright, so let's go to our checklist. Go before takeoff. Lights and strobes. Not yet, but turn our APU off for our takeoff. Q fuel, crossflow, manual. Flight attendant advised, gas checked. Flight director is on. Alright. One 15. And our departure frequency, we'll just set it up in the meantime. 119,700. There we go. Curitiba Tower, Arizona Pacific 800. Holding short of runway 15, ready for departure. Okay, nobody. Oh, no wonder. Got the frequency wrong. There we go. My bad. Curitiba Tower, Arizona Pacific 800, holding short of runway 15, ready for departure.
Arizona Pacific 800, Curitiba Tower, runway 15, winds 110 at 3, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 15, Arizona Pacific 800. Oh god. Alright, so this next thing, we're just gonna pretend that this never happened. Forgot to put my QNH.
Transbrazil 9000, say again your last transmission.
1022. There we go. Alright. We are cleared. Strobe coming on. Lights coming on. Seat belts. Alright. Let's line up.
Cleared for takeoff. Phoenix 1156.
Aero Phoenix 1156, contact departure.
119.9 for Phoenix 1156.
Alright, cleared for takeoff. Speed, we're gonna put it 200. Alright, let's do it 210. Oh, 200. 200, 6,000. I should have done that way earlier. Alright, there we go. All set. Alright, let's go. Bring N1 to about 50%. Okay, it's all green, and we are a go. Oh. Speed alive, 80 knots, 100, 120, V1, and rotates. Gonna pretend we did not see that. Heading. Lower.
Arizona Pacific 800, contact departure.
Contact departure Arizona Pacific 800. Climb.
Departure, Phoenix 1156.
And flaps.
Aero Phoenix 1156, welcome to Curitiba. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Contact ground 121.9er for Phoenix 1156.
Departure, good evening, Arizona Pacific 800 with ya. Leveled off at 6,000 feet.
Arizona Pacific 800, Curitiba control departure, radar contact. Climb flight level 150.
Flight level 150, Arizona Pacific 800.
Curitiba control, Azul 6020 established, RLS, runway 15.
Azul 6020, contact Curitiba Tower on 118.15. Arizona Pacific 800, climb flight level 240.
Flight level 240, Arizona Pacific 800.
Aero
Okay.
Phoenix 1156, climb and maintain flight level 270.
Okay, so we are cleared to.
Flight level 270 for Phoenix 1156.
Speed mode. Climb at about 250. Thrust reversers. What you looked at? It was never armed. Alright, so now we're en route climb. Landing elevation is set. Fuel. T-gas radar landing. Oh, no. Climb. There we go. Fuel bleeds. Thrust reversers. They were already off. We are killing it today. What's our transition altitude? 9,000 feet. Alright. We could switch to standard. If it works. There we go. Landing lights coming off. Strobe lights off. Wing inspection lights off. Seatbelt signs off. Logo lights off.
Arizona Pacific 800, climb flight level 280.
Flight level 280, Arizona Pacific 800. Alright, there we go. Gonna center our heading bug, just in case. Because you never know when an autopilot might fail. Alright, so we've got a steady climb. We could be climbing up at 290, but, you know, I want to get leveled off fairly quick, so I'm going to keep it at 250. Climbing at 3,000 per minute. Snacks are now served. Would you look at that? Our transponder was off this whole time. It was on standby. We'll pretend that never happened. TCAS. It's an auto. Why is it saying that it's off? Whatever.
Arizona Pacific 800, contact Curitiba Center on 125.8.
125.8, Arizona Pacific 800.
Control, just to confirm, do you have us, just want to make sure that you have us doing the RNP Zulu runway 15 approach from Andam.
Arizona Pacific 800, climb flight level 350.
Flight level 350, Arizona Pacific 800. Let me contact. Control 258. You know, if I had a co-pilot, this would be 10 times easier. But no, I'm doing all the work today. Curitiba Center, Arizona Pacific 800 with ya. Flight level 20 for flight level 3, correction, 280. He's such 350.
Arizona Pacific 800, Curitiba Center, identified. Good evening.
You know, it's AI, but sometimes I forget it's AI because the accents, they sound so real. The only thing that reminds me that it's AI is the short delay that there's between our transmissions.
Arizona Pacific 800, Curitiba Center, climb flight level 360.
Flight level 360, Arizona Pacific 800. Alright, to go to 360, that should be our cruising altitude. And now we could relax a little bit. Alright, so that climb wasn't, our departure wasn't that intense. Yeah, I did forget. Forgot a few things, but you know, that's how we learn, right? That's how procedures are made. People, they've forgotten certain things before and bad things happen. So the next guy went out and wrote it down and said, hey, from now on we're going to do it this way. And then I come along, and I say, fuck it, I'm gonna forget. Anyways. Okay, so we are, let's see, 400 miles from our destination. So we have about an hour, maybe an hour and 5 minutes en route, if there are no delays, of course. Smooth sailing. Thank God this wasn't a line check, right? He would have been sitting right here, just judging every move I made. And there's no co-pilot, so I can't blame it on the co-pilot. I would have looked at him and went, hey, buddy, that was your job. Alright, these lights are kind of bothering me. Let's turn it off. Dome lights off. Yes, get real nice and comfortable. Should be nap time in about a few minutes. Let's dim these. Dim these. Yeah, there we go. And dim. Yeah, nice and dark.
Kodiak Romeo Alpha Golf. Contact Curitiba Control on 119.7.
119.7.
Curitiba Control on 119.7. Kodiak Romeo Alpha Golf.
Kodiak. Wow, we have Kodiak around here. Headsets. Com1, Com2. Okay.
Phoenix 1156 request vectors to final on Guarulhos.
You know, I feel bad because I'm looking at my nav graph and you guys are not looking at it, so I am going to pull it up via VFR map. Where is my nav graph? Oh, there we go, nav graph charts. Whenever you guys can see that. Yes, you could. Oh God, sign in. Give me a second. Approve. Don't look at my flights. Alright, so this is where we are right now. An hour and 3 minutes left. More or less. So right now would be a good time to look at our charts, right? Charts. Approaches, ILS. Yankee. 20. Alright, so we have, this is our chart for Sierra Golf Alpha Sierra, Asunción Paraguay, ILS or localizer Yankee runway 20. Our ATIS is going to be 127.6. Asunción approach 119.7. Tower 108.1 and ground 121.9. Localizer 109.5. Our final approach course is going to be 208, which is right here. At Burva, our final approach fix, we should be at 1,900 feet. Our decision altitude, it's gonna be 449, oh god, there we go, 1,000 feet left for flight level 360. Alright, so our decision altitude is gonna be 449 feet. Airport elevation, 290 feet, runway 249. Alright, so we're coming in from the west. So I've loaded into our FMS. We're going to be approaching from the west. We're going to intercept. We're going to cross Bacoor at 3,000. We're going to descend to 1,900 to Lonel. From there on out, we're going to maintain that altitude to Burba, and that's where we intercept our glide slope and we land. Alright, in case of a missed approach, we're going to climb to flight level
5,000 feet and turn
3,000
right,
feet,
290
heading
expect
208,
pilot
then
runway
we're going to
29er.
turn left
Azul 7 Papa Foxtrot.
to Bacoor for holding, which is right here.
Azul 7 Papa Foxtrot. Contact
And
Curitiba.
our ground
Control
speed's
on
going to be
119er,
around, it's going to be between
decimal
140 and 160, so
Curitiba control on 119 decimal 7 Azul 7 Papa Foxtrot.
straight in landing. Alright, perfect. Alright, sounds good. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave our nav aids on for now, just in case anything happens. We could turn back. We're still close to Sierra Bravo Charlie Tango, and I'll just wait till we get a little bit closer to switch to our Paraguay nav aids. Still too far to listen to our ATIS. Oh god, look at that. We are at Mach 69. Let's speed up a little bit. Let's go Mach 82. Toga no, Toga no. So we should be speeding up now. Let's go around thrust. Alright, so we're at 83% N1 and 84 N2. ITT's looking good. Oil temp, oil press, everything is looking good. Now we can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. We're going to center our heading bug. Yeah, no, I could just press it, but you have to click it 1,000 times. Alright, so our top of descent, we'll reach it in 38 minutes. It's 252 nautical miles from us. Got a pretty alright ground speed. Could be better, considering we've got a headwind right now. But that's okay. Direct intercept. Spot and bot, we should be at flight level. Correction. 30,000 feet. What's this? Alright, so we were cleared up to 36,000 feet fairly quick. My bad, I was at our nearest airports page. Alright, so at Davos, we should be at flight level 342. Port should be at 5,700, and at Lonau, 3,400 or 3,000, and at Burva, 1,900. Alright, sounds good. You know what, tonight's a pretty chill night, so I know we've got some old timers in the back, so you know, let's give them a little smoking break. Alright. Normally my first officer would let them know that they could take out their old Camels and start puffing back there, but since he's not here, I'll let them know. So go over to PA and let them know. Good evening, folks. This is your captain speaking from the cockpit. As you guys may have noticed, the no smoking sign has been turned off. I felt like cutting you guys a break. You may now proceed to smoke. I will myself in a bit, right after I run a few checklists. I'll take out my SIGs as well. Thank you. Alright. I'll admit, that was a crappy announcement. I could do better. I could do a lot better. Do way better. So, we've got the time. Why not? I know nobody's watching, but I'll pretend like there's 6,000 people watching. Let's just do another one. Alright, let's do our... Where is the PA? Let's see if this thing actually... I've never used it, though. PA... Where is it? PA... Ah, here we go. PA. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We've reached... Hold up, let me get my mic closer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We've reached our cruising altitude of 36,000 feet, and I've got some good news for those feeling a little nostalgic. On this very special flight, we're taking it old school. That's right. Smoking is permitted in all designated areas of the aircraft, which just so happens to be the entire cabin. So, light 'em up if you got 'em. Cigarettes, cigars, even those vintage pipes. Heck, even if you got vapes, let it rip. And if you're feeling classy, you could take out those old long cigarettes with the filters on top. And just be courteous of your neighbors. Share a story or two, and please don't set off the smoke detectors in the lavatories. They're touchy, and our imaginary co-pilot is jumpy. Alright, so we'll be dimming the cabin lights now, not because it's time to rest, but because smoke looks way cooler in low lighting. And thanks for flying with us. Kick back, relax, and enjoy this time traveling trip through the friendly skies of yesteryear. There we go. Can't hear the chime. You know, they should be pretty happy. They should be. Let's see what they're doing in there. There's our camera. Wow. Yeah, shitty external views.
Arizona Pacific 800, contact Curitiba Center on 133.8.
133.8, Arizona Pacific 800. Alright, we got... Alright, so normally when I'm at cruising altitude, I'll just...
Sat 219 requesting IFR clearance to Rio. We have information.
1 second for that clearance.
Alright, so normally I just scroll through Instagram when I'm at cruising altitude. I keep forgetting that this is live. I'm supposed to say something. Alright, let's contact Curitiba Center. Curitiba Center, good evening. Arizona Pacific 800, leveled off at flight level 360. Approaching Rogel waypoint.
Contact Curitiba Center on
24.755.
Arizona Pacific 800, Curitiba Center, identified southwest.
Nice.
Arizona Pacific 800, Curitiba Center. In about 20 minutes, I'll start your descent. Say the word if you want to descend sooner.
Alright, Roger, I'll let you know if we'll need to descend sooner. Arizona Pacific 800. That sounds about good. Top of descent is in about 27 minutes, so yeah, we could maybe start a slow descent, but the longer we're up here, the better. Oh, it's getting a bit choppy up here. Look at the flight director.
United 191, flight level 360, sorry, with you.
United 191, Curitiba Center, identified. Good morning.
You know, overall winds are pretty calm up here.
Curitiba Center.
There was a little light chop earlier, but you know, it wasn't serious. I couldn't really see it on the screen, but you know,
Iberia 90 Nina,
just a
Curitiba
reminder
Center,
that the
identified.
atmosphere is
Good
alive
morning.
and well. The flight attendants are probably doing the Lord's work right now, trying to serve 70 people with a cart the size of a shoebox. And I heard earlier that someone ordered tomato juice because apparently it only tastes good above 30,000 feet. Science can't explain it. Quick shout out to the passengers in 12A and 12B. Why? Because they've probably been fighting for that armrest since we took off. Almost as if it's the last slice pizza at a party. Alright, so anyway, we've got, let's see. Alright, we've got about 40 minutes of cruise left. Actually less, 20 minutes. 40 minutes overall. 20 minutes to start our magical descent back into reality. Yeah, that's when the real work starts. Alright. we at? Okay, so we just passed. Oh, it was Bogle. I said Rogel. Gun, Dedome, Bolier, Davos. And this is incorrect. See if I can change it over here. Nope. It's too much work. Actually, you could change it, but it's too much work. No, I don't get why people complain about CRJ not having the auto throttle, because it's still at Toga. We're still at takeoff. We're at the takeoff detent or whatever. Company's paying for the fuel, not me. Anyways, so I just left it there and we're cruising pretty. Yeah, I don't really have to worry about it. I only worry about it when we're, in approach. Because over here to activate our speed mode, for it to climb at a certain speed, you just have to put in the climb detent and it'll pitch automatically, trying to match that speed. So during the climb, in cruise, it's pretty. I don't really think about it. It's only when we're getting down to the approach where I start to mess with it. And the thing with CRJ, or I believe any other airplane, has, a jet for an engine, is the delay, because it takes a second for it to spool up, and then, so you kind of have to predict when you're going to need a little bit more thrust, and, set the correct power config. It's nighttime, can't really see much outside. I would have done it during the daytime. I could have done a daytime flight, but I wanted to put real time and real weather, and right now it's around 11:30 at night. To have a little bit more immersion. I wonder if those two passengers are still fighting over the armrest. I wouldn't consider this a red eye, because, it's still, local time? That's not right. It should be real time. Oh, it's not in real time. Let's put it in real time. There we go. Alright, so it's 23:28. So we'll be home, around midnight. Pretty suitable time to arrive. You can still get a good night's rest, fly the next day. But, catching a red eye, that's what really gets you tired. Like, you'll sleep a full 8 hours, but afterwards, you'll feel it, man. Alright, so as I said earlier, normally during cruise flight, I'd just be scrolling through Instagram. Doom scrolling, looking at reels. But, I have you guys with me. I keep saying you guys. I don't really know if anyone's watching. Is anyone watching? Let's take a look. Holy shit, there's 2 watching right now. Nice. I thought nobody was watching. That's crazy. Sweet. So, I don't know who's watching, but I was saying a bunch of stupid shit earlier. It was just me thinking out loud, basically. But now that I know that someone's watching, I could. All of a sudden, the stream comes alive. So, anyways, the thing with SayIntentions.AI is that, it's pretty neat. So far, so good. Nothing out of the ordinary has happened. The only thing that I could say is that the last time I was flying, I was ready for, I was holding short, was ready for departure, and I switched to tower frequency, but they could hear me. I did a radio check. They heard me loud and clear, but when I asked for takeoff clearance, they wouldn't answer. Which is... So, I did the next best thing, which was just, I assumed that, I was cleared for takeoff and did just that. And then continued on to departure like nothing happened. But yeah, it was just a bug. But so far, it's pretty good. Can't complain. Alright, top of descent in 16 minutes. Alright, so we could still fool around, pull some shenanigans in the meantime. Let's check our fuel. Total fuel, we've got 3,015 kilos. That is more than enough. Alright, so we have... Alright, so let's assume, for whatever reason, we arrive at our airport and, it's below minimums or something, we have enough fuel to divert, we can fly around for 45 minutes, and in my flight plan I didn't put an alternative. Why? Because I didn't feel like it. But, if I were doing a real flight, I would have put an alternate airport, which is, well within the 45 minutes of reserve fuel. Now, if for whatever reason, let's just say I was at minimum fuel, and ATC decides to I don't know, put me in a hold or something, I would have to declare an emergency. Minimum fuel, and just whatever happens, happens, right? If it's an alternate airport, yeah, I would land, but let's say I had minimum fuel at my destination airport. Yeah, I would just, to be honest, those minimums, to me, they would just exist on paper. I would try to land and see what happens. Of course, assuming the weather's not that bad, because if you got zero visibility, then you wouldn't see it. I'd get down to about, I don't know, maybe 200 feet, probably 100, but you'll probably see the runway earlier. But like I said, it's a very tough decision. I don't know if there are any cases where I'm pretty sure there are, but I don't know any. I don't know of any right now. probably have to Google that later. By the way, since this is my first stream, I don't know how my mic sounds. I don't know if you guys could hear me well at all. But we'll see. I'll do a little debrief after the stream ends with myself by myself, just so I could see if the audio is good, if you know, the ATC audio is also good. Anyways, you guys heard Kanye's new song? It's a banger, but I can't sing it. I find myself singing it, you know, every now and then, but I'll sing it in my head. It's catchy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying it's right, but I don't think you guys, not you guys, but I don't think people actually get the idea behind. Oh, that's altitude. My bad. You don't get the idea behind that song. I don't think he's actually praising Mr. H. We all know how Kanye is, right? We all know that he is, how do I put it? He's very proud of himself, right? He loves himself. He thinks of himself as God. He said it before. He is God, right? His words, not mine. So, he's made some comments, you know, anti-Semitic comments. So people categorize them as, you know, Mr. H or Mr. not a C, not a letter C. Let's say that. Just put it that way, not a letter C. So, he said, fuck it. If that's the case, if you guys are saying that I'm not a letter C, then hail Mr. H. That would be me, Kanye. So that song is basically praising himself, you know, hail Kanye instead of hail Mr. H. So I think that's where he's coming from, you know, from more of a, you know, ego, pride standpoint. And I think that's what people fail to see. Weird topic for a flight simulator. But it is cruise flight, you know, it's permitted. We're allowed to talk about these things. On our climb we had we did a little brief, slight brief, tiny brief, right, on our destination airport. So we know what we're getting into and what we're doing. Okay. I'm still singing the song in my head. Can't sing it out loud though. I mean, it's not like it's not like I'll get demonetized because I'm not even making money off of this. Like, this is all just for hobby. But you know, if I were getting monetized, then yeah, I would filter it out. But you know, yeah, sometimes we have to be careful with what we say. You know, this early on in the game, I don't really want to mess up. On top of that, I want you guys to see this video. I don't want to get it. I don't want it to get, you know, red flagged by YouTube talking about Mr. H and not letter C's, right? Top of descent in 9 minutes. Everything is looking good. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the lights on because I don't think you guys can see that well.
Arizona Pacific 800, contact Asunción Center on 128.4.
128.4, Arizona Pacific 800. 128.4. Asunción Center, good evening, Arizona Pacific 800, leveled off, flight level 360.
Arizona Pacific 800, Asunción Center identified. Good evening.
Good evening. Alright, so in order to plan our descent, we'll use our direct intercept page. So we have at Devos, we're supposed to be at flight level 342, and it says here the vertical speed that we need to have in order to get this desired flight level. So for example, if I were to start my descent now, I would have to descend at 200 feet per minute to be at this level at Devos. So I think it's still too early to start our descent. It is a rather beautiful night, actually. Look, like there's not a cloud in the sky. There's a city over there. I have no idea what city that is. God knows where we are. And that should be Asunción. Right there. That little smudge. That little yellow smudge over there. Yeah, that's it. Reference points, we have a lake somewhere around somewhere, don't know where, but we'll look for it. Alright. Well, hopefully this approach goes smoothly. I believe we've prepared rather well. We'll go over it one more time just in case, so we don't miss anything. Alright, so we have this airport here. We have two airports. You know, either one could be an alternate, just in case